presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, Mother Nature has dropped a lot of rain on the Motor City the last 2 days, and that has kept Heather Navazny and her crew very busy to get the playing surface in playing shape. But today, the rain has moved out. It is a cloudy, overcast day here in the Motor City as we get you ready for baseball. The Tigers and Seattle Mariners hooking up in the final game of this three-game series. And one thing that could impact the play today, the wind. It is a very windy and chilly afternoon here at the ballpark. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us as we wrap up this three-game series here against the M's. Rod Allen will join us in just a bit. The Tigers have faced some pretty good pitching the first two games in this series. Today, it's not going to get any easier. Michael Pineda, I should say, is one of the top young pitchers in all of baseball. We'll see him here today. He's only 22 years of age. He was Seattle's minor league pitcher of the year last year, and a guy that features a mid-90s fastball. And his numbers so far this year have been very, very good, among the best of all rookies in all of baseball. A 3-1 record and an ERA of 1.78. So it won't be easy today. The Tigers facing Michael Pineda in the final game of this three-game series, trying to avoid the sweep. For more on our coverage now, we send you back to the Call Sam Studios, and here's Mickey York. Today at Comerica Park, the Tigers looking for a victory under cloudy skies. Very windy here at the ballpark and a cool afternoon as the Tigers and M's wrap up this 3-game series, with Seattle having won the first 2 games. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get yourself a free small order of curly fries. You can find the box score at foxsportsdetroit.com. Seattle lineup here this afternoon looks like this. It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, and no changes at the top. The top 3 are Ichiro, Figgins, and Bradley. Olivo again will clean up. Justin Smoke has had himself a series. He's at first base. Adam Kennedy is the DH. Luis Rodriguez, Michael Saunders, and Jack Wilson are your bottom 3 for Seattle. Here's the scouting report on Brad Penny. It is presented today by Ace Hardware.
Well, how about a repeat performance by Big Brad Penny? Last Saturday, he was spectacular here at Comerica Park against the White Sox. 7 innings of 1-hit ball, and one of the reasons why he was doing so, he was attacking that strike zone with good first pitch strikes, good moving fastball, and he also kept the ball south of the knees, which Penny desperately needs to do here today. Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, as always, presented by Beaumont Hospitals. Rayburn, Jackson, Bosch in the outfield. Kelly, Santiago Rhymes in the lineup today, along with Cabrera at first and Avila catching the day game after a night game here at Comerica Park.
So Big Brad Penny really was good in that last start. You touched on it against the Chicago White Sox. Took a no-hitter into the 6th inning, and he was as good, Rod, as we have seen him this year.
Well, he's been working on it. And if you talk to the people that follow the Tigers on a day-to-day basis, they will tell you that Brad Penny is really still just working himself into shape. Of course, he missed the majority of last year, and he came to spring training healthy, but still takes time to build that arm strength up once again.
So the Tigers trying to avoid the sweep today. The last time Seattle swept a Tigers team, you had to go back to that 2003 series when the Tigers, or 3 season I should say, the Tigers obviously not very good that year. They were swept in Seattle, and Ichiro getting set to lead things off here for the M's.
Ichiro and Figgins, their top 2 hitters will be key to the Tigers' success here today. Penny must keep them off the bases. If he does not, they will steal a few bases here today. And when these 2 guys play good baseball, the Mariners' chances of winning a baseball game increase greatly.
So Ichiro strolling to the plate. And a very cool and windy afternoon here at Comerica Park as we wrap up this homestand and this series against Seattle. It was such a promising homestand with the victories they got against the White Sox, but they'll try and get a win here today against Seattle to close things out.
Didn't spring hit the calendar about 3 weeks ago?
Apparently not. It has decided to take a brief respite because it is cold today, but we have baseball nonetheless. Here we go. The first pitch of the ball game today to Ichiro is in there for a strike. 0-1.
Brad Penny in his last start had a really good fastball, anywhere from 90 to 93 miles an hour, but it had some late life to it. He has finally found his curveball, and that split-fingered fastball also was a plus pitch for Brad last time out.
There's a bouncing ball to the shortstop. Santiago will gun him down, and they keep Ichiro off the bases. 1 away. Ramon getting the start today in place of Peralta. 1 up, 1 gone, and that'll bring up Sean Figgins. Our game time temperature this afternoon is 49 degrees. Figgins 3 out of 8 in the series, 3 RBIs. He's had a triple. That came in game 1 of the series a couple of nights ago. And Sean takes high and away, 1-0. Seattle with their 2 wins, 10 victories on the season now. As you look at the particulars on the weather conditions here, very, very windy day today, and the temperature is not quite 50. There's the ball low and away, 2-0. Basically 2 leadoff men in the Seattle lineup. If Ichiro can't get on, Figgins will try and do so. Figgins stole a base in yesterday's game.
As always, you can see Jackson and Rayburn in the outfield playing Figgins really shallow. Usually when he hits the ball in the air, it's not over your head.
2-1 on Figgins. And here is Penny's 2-1 pitch. Figgins pops it up. Shallow right center field. Jackson coming on. And Figgins is out of there. 2 gone. Well, that was right on cue. Got it in the air. Not very deep.
That's exactly what you want Figgins to do. You want him to hit the ball in the air, because when he's hitting the ball on the ground, he's getting lots of infield singles. And then when he gets on, he steals quite a few bases.
Here's Milton Bradley. He has not had a hit in the series, 0 for 6. However, he's walked a couple of times and has scored a couple of runs. Penny in search of the 1-2-3 inning. Ball 1 to Milton Bradley. Bradley, the first 2 games in the series, was wearing earplugs. He is not wearing them today. Now the 1-0 pitch. It's in the air. Into left field. Playable for Ryan Rayburn. Looks like Penny's got himself a 1-2-3 inning. Mariners go in order. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Park. Miguel Cabrera will lead once again. The Tigers line up in a battle today. It's presented by Big Boy. Austin Jackson will lead it off. He'll be followed by Ramon Santiago. Maglio Ordonez DHing again this afternoon, batting third. Cabrera cleaning up. Then Bosch, then Rayburn. And your bottom 3 today features Avila, Kelly, and Will Rhymes. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Michael Pineda. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, the scouting report on the youngster is that he has an explosive fastball, and even more important, 70% of the time he's able to throw it over the plate on the first batter that he sees in any one inning. He also has a really good hard slider, not much of a feel for a changeup, and you know what I like to say from time to time, he's got something you can't teach, and that is size. He stands 6 feet 7 inches, and he's about 260 pounds. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment here today for the Seattle Mariners. It's always brought to you by Tim Hortons, Bradley, Saunders, Suzuki in the outfield, Figgins, Rodriguez, Wilson, Smoke in the infield, and Olivo also catching for the 3rd consecutive day here in the Motor City.
Austin Jackson leads it off and fouls it straight back, 0-1. It'll be Jackson, Santiago, and Ordonez.
And a lot of the Tigers were watching Pineda on film in the clubhouse, but until you actually see a guy, can you determine the movement on his pitches and from the arm slot he throws from.
This young man is gigantic.
He is a mountain of a man.
And he's only 22 years old. Swing and a miss.
Wow, thanks for coming.
3 pitches, 1 out. Pineda has his first strikeout.
You know, I was watching Pineda myself down in the Tigers clubhouse, and you know, he's one of those guys that kind of throws from his right ear. He has a short arm, and it kind of comes uphill, does the fastball. He doesn't really get on top of the baseball, but when you throw 95 miles an hour, it really doesn't matter.
Well, we've seen him all of one batter here. in this game, Rod, as Santiago stands in. But he looks like one of those guys that has a max effort delivery to the plate.
That's a good point. There's no doubt about that. And he's also one of those guys that acts like he's going to throw lots of fastballs here today because the weather's conducive for that.
Strike called on Santiago.
He got a little Felix in him too. Got his hat all tilted to the side.
Well, he's only 22 and he's already starring in the big league.
That's how them young boys wear their caps these days.
And he's come out throwing basically nothing but strikes. Santiago is playing shortstop today, batting in the 2-hole. Pineda was the minor league pitcher of the year last year for Seattle. And a swing and a miss and a couple of quick strikeouts here in the first inning. Well, 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Ordonez.
95 and above with every fastball, but take a look at the arm slot in which he delivers the ball from. I mean, he doesn't really get over the top. I mean, he's right around that right ear, and because of that arm slot, it's more of a rising fastball. That replay courtesy of Panasonic and Foxmo.
1 strike on Ordonez. I was reading about the velocity of his fastball. You were just talking about it, but he averages 96 miles an hour on his fastball. That's the average. That's not where he tops out at. Aglio takes high, 2-1. Well, they say when he was coming up through the minor leagues, as he was blowing through the minor league system for Seattle, that he had the ability at some point in his career to form a nice 1-2 with Felix Hernandez. That's fouled back out of play. 2-2.
As impressive as Pineda has been so far, he is going to have to come up with that field pitch, that changeup, a curveball, something, because there are going to be times where he falls behind major league hitters, and I don't care. Major league hitters can hit good fastballs when they know they're coming.
Wave and a miss. Got him with a secondary pitch there, and Pineda walks off the mound strutting after 3 strikeouts. The Tigers go quickly and quietly. Is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. And by Arby's Junior Buffalo Chicken Sandwich. New to Arby's value menu. Hurry, available for a limited time only. Well, you got to wear the gloves to sign the autographs today. It's that kind of day. Chilly and windy this afternoon here, but we are playing baseball. The good news is there's no rain right now.
Skipper down there signing a bubblegum card.
Skipper's all about the fans.
Absolutely.
Understands the importance. Brad Penny had himself a 1-2-3 first inning. Miguel Olivo will lead it off for Seattle here in the second. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Seen Brad pitch now through the first month of the season up close and personal here in a Tigers uniform, and he has that very slow, deliberate windup as he brings home the 0-1. There's a breaking ball, bounce back up the middle. Santiago for the out. It's almost as if he kind of lulls you to sleep, and all of a sudden the ball just shoots out of his hand.
You know, you bring up a great point, because I know a lot of pitching coaches, they talk about tempo and telling their starting pitchers to kind of set the tone for the game with your pace. But apparently this is where Penny is comfortable, because he does work very slow on the mound. Every time he gets the ball back, he walks behind the mound, takes his cap off, really takes his time before delivering the next pitch.
Here's Justin Smoak. He's batting in the 5 spot. Well, as a hitter, go back to your playing days. Did you not like facing guys that work this slowly, or would you rather face a guy that was a little bit more relaxed as Penny is, or did you like the guys that work quickly?
Well, if you were seeing a guy like Penny for the very first time, it probably would take you an at bat to understand that he is deliberate, and you really not need pay attention to what he's doing before he gets to delivering the baseball. And then it would be okay, but not knowing coming in, obviously you prefer the guys to get the ball, get right back on the rubber, and they throw their next pitch, because that takes away some of the thought process for you.
1 ball, 1 strike on Smoak.
The more you stand in that batter's box, the more thoughts go through your mind.
I can imagine. There's the ball, 2-1. It's been quite a series for Smoak. As we told you the last couple of nights, his father recently passed away over the weekend. He had the services to attend on Saturday. First game back here against Detroit. 2 nights ago he homered, and then homered yesterday as well. Here's the 2-1 off the inside part of the plate. 3-1. Penny surrendered just 1 hit against Chicago in his last outing, walked only 2 in that game. Kennedy waiting on deck. Just off the plate outside. Smoak is on base again.
That walk may have been by design. As Mario pointed out, Smoak has been the one hitter from a power standpoint that has really hurt the Tigers in the 2-game series thus far. Therefore, they're not going to really mess with him today.
And so they will attack Adam Kennedy here with a man at first base. Kennedy, through his career, has had good luck against Brad Penny. 7 for 19. Ball 1.
Kennedy has always been a real good fastball hitter, and Penny has never been afraid to throw his fastball.
He's also homered against Brad Penny for a .368 mark. Here's the 1-0. Lifted back out of play. 1-1. Penny last year had his season cut short because of an injury with the St. Louis Cardinals. He's done most of his work over in the National League. He had all-star seasons with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Smoak on first base does not appear to be a guy that's going to steal a lot of bases. However, if Brad Penny is anywhere from 1.5 to 1.6 from the time he delivers that ball out of his hand to the catcher, then Smoak would have the ability to steal a base. Penny can't get into a pattern where he forgets about the non-base stealers on the Mariners side.
What's a good time for a pitcher to hold a runner?
About 1.1, 1.2 is nearly impossible to steal a base successfully, unless you have world-class speed, Ichiro kind of speed, Figgins kind of speed, and then those guys have a chance.
Meanwhile, Penny now has fallen behind Kennedy. He's gone 3-1 on Adam Kennedy. On deck, Luis Rodriguez. There's a strike. The dulcet tones of Jim Joyce behind the plate today. Jim is, I would imagine, the loudest home plate umpire. He really lets you know when it's a strike. 3-2. Popped up, foul ground. Inge, or Kelly I should say today, at third. He makes the catch. Don Kelly doing an Inge imitation, sprinting to the ball. 2 gone. And that's going to bring up Luis Rodriguez. Who has not appeared in this series to this point. 0 for 2 against the Tigers this year, batting .200 on the season. Rodriguez has had time in the American League with the Minnesota Twins and also in the National League with San Diego. And he takes ball 1. Seattle has pounded the baseball in this series. They have scored 17 runs on 21 hits. So their offensive numbers have gotten a lot better over the last 2 nights. Which is something Eric Wedge certainly is encouraged by. And despite the fact they have Felix Hernandez and the young kid Pineda who's pitching today, and Bedard seems to be maybe on the comeback trail, it's going to be tough for them in the West when they have to deal with teams like Texas, Los Angeles, and even Oakland and their pitching staff.
That's right. All 3 real good baseball teams. Oakland from a pitching standpoint, the other 2 they play on both sides of the ball, Texas and Los Angeles.
This one gets away from Avila but not far enough. 2-1. Alex catching the day game after the night game. Probably the fact that it's a little bit cool today certainly would help him out in that regard. Jim Leland, with his team struggling offensively, wanted to throw Alex back out there. He's been swinging a pretty good bat.
He's young too.
In the air, center field. Jackson just about in his tracks. And that is that for Seattle. No runs, they get a walk, and they leave a man. Bottom of the second coming up.
The New York Yankees next Tuesday, May 3rd at 7:05. The first 7,500 fans receive a Detroit Tigers fleece scarf. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Today is a scarf day.
Isn't it, though? The fleece scarf would come in handy this afternoon.
Well, we'll see what Mr. Pineda does here to the big fella. We saw that first inning.
Yeah, he struck out the side. This is a heavyweight matchup here. Cabrera leads it off and he throws it right by him in 94.
And the big fella, and in this case, Pineda, he's not backing down.
The 0-1 pitch. 98 from Pineda, so get used to that. His fastball will be in that mid-90s area and beyond. 2 balls, 1 strike. But the point you made in the last half inning, I think, is a really good one and bears repeating. And Joel Zumaya, I think, found this out. You can throw 100 miles an hour every single pitch, but you need to change speeds.
Especially in counts like these to dangerous hitters like Cabrera.
2-1 on Miguel. Fouls it away, 2-2.
Just to give you an idea of the gamesmanship that kind of goes on between the catcher, the batter, and the pitcher. Pineda stood on the mound there for about 5 seconds, going through a series of signs. They knew they were going to throw the fastball, but they just wanted to put another thought in Cabrera's mind, and by putting that thought in his mind, caused him to be tardy on that fastball.
And Miguel gets a piece of it to stay alive. Cabrera, 2 out of 8 in the series. He's hit safely in 8 consecutive games and has been the biggest offensive performer this year for the Tigers. 16 RBIs. In fact, Miguel right now with an on-base percentage of .442. That's the second best in the American League. So he's getting on base a ton. He walks a lot. He certainly is picking up his hits.
Since he put on a Tigers uniform at the beginning of the 2008 season, no one in the American League has been better. I mean, really, no one consistently has been better than this guy. And that's no small sampling.
2-2. Pineda having trouble finishing him off. And he missed high. Now it's 3-2. .114 home runs in a Tigers uniform alone. He's gone full here on Pineda. And he tipped it into the glove for strike 3. And down he goes. That's 4 straight strikeouts.
What a pitch to finish him off. But let's take a look at the sequence. It's sponsored by Bell Tire. He's coming right at Cabrera just like he did everybody else. Good firm fastballs, everything in the mid-90s. A couple of sliders mixed in between. Cabrera appeared to be on him until this last slide piece, and that was not a pretty good swing by here Cabrera.
Oof. Yep, there's that secondary pitch you talked about, and he got Cabrera with it for 4 consecutive strikeouts to start this game, and now he faces Bosch.
Not a true changeup. Looks like he changes speeds on his breaking ball. He has one real hard slider and then a real slow pitch, the one he struck Cabrera out with.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the kid throws so hard that his changeup, they say, has been at times in the upper 80s, and there's still enough differential. Now, typically your changeup is much slower than that, velocity wise. 1-2.
Jim Leland was talking about this yesterday. There is some outstanding pitching in the American League. Outstanding pitching. He's touched 98 already, has the youngster. And Jim also said that the days of slow pitch softball are over. All the home runs, all the runs that were being scored there for the better part of a decade.
That's pulled down the first base line, fair ball. Brendan Bosch hits the bag at first. He'll go to second, and he will pull in with a double, and the Tigers have their first hit. Well, Pineda's been really good, but Bosch has been really hot.
He threw him a breaking ball that stayed up in the strike zone, and Brendan was sitting on the piece of cheese here, and his bat was sped up by the breaking ball, and it's down in the happy zone of a left-hander, and that is now 16 straight games. I think he's reached base successfully in a row.
Pretty impressive. Time for the Farmers Insurance report card. 16 straight games. He has reached base consecutively. 373 average.
Sorry about that. I didn't know that was a report card.
No, see, that's called symmetry. You kind of just let us into it beautifully. So very, very good. Tigers have their first scoring chance. Rayburn showing bunt. It gets by Olivo. He's got a shot at third. Not in time. That thing came right back to him.
And Brennan gets off, and he's running full speed. Then he sees that Olivo's going to throw this ball, and he has to get into a head-first slide to get there safely.
Wild pitch. So the game's first run is just 90 feet away now for the Tigers.
And some of you may be asking why wouldn't Eric Wedge be playing his infield in here? With the runner on third, less than 2 outs. I'll give you 2 reasons. One, he believes Pineda can strike Rayburn out. And the other reason is they feel like they're going to score at least 1 or 2 runs here today against Brad Penny. So whichever one you want to choose.
And the 1-0. Lifted back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rayburn. 1 for 8 in the series. Pineda last year was pitching in Double-A ball for part of the season. He was ranked as having the best fastball and the best pitching prospect in the Southern League. Neither of those two are a surprise. 2-1.
If you're Rayburn, you know you have a hard throw on the mound. They are conceding the run here. Put the ball in play. Shortstop, second base, any direction you want to go. Here. You can go even on the corners and still get that run home.
Three and one. How long does it typically take for a hitter to get used to somebody you've never seen other than tape? An at bat or 2?
At least. And then when you have a guy throwing 96, 97, on occasion 100 miles an hour, you may not get used to it.
Well, he's behind here 3-1 on Rayburn. Yanked foul.
It's a nice call there by Olivo, the veteran catcher. No doubt leading the youngster every step of the way. Throwing a breaking ball there in that count, knowing that Rayburn would be out in front of it, because he was looking for the fastball, which is absolutely what you have to do today against Pineda. No matter how many breaking balls he throws you, you still have to stay ready for that number 1. Going slider again.
And he missed with it. So Rayburn gets a walk. First of the game for Pineda. First and third. We'll bring up Alex Avila. Pineda started this game by striking out the first 4 Tigers that he faced, and then Bosch doubled against him down the right field line. Alex hitting .302.
Looks mean, doesn't he?
He does. Very imposing. Alex taking his time, strolling into the batter's box. And he drives one down the right field line. It's a fair ball. It goes to the corner. 1 run is in, maybe 2. Rayburn rounding third. They send him home, and he will score. How about Alex Avila? He continues to swing it. A 2-run double.
Most left-handers like the ball down and in. Here's a fastball at 94. It's up. Avila climbs the ladder, and he gets through it. Doesn't get barrel quite on it. It's more on the label, but still the ball lands softly in the outfield, and the Tigers get on the board first here today.
Well, after they were struck out in order in the first inning, they've come back to post a couple of doubles and a walk in this inning and 2 runs. 16 RBIs for Avila, ties him now with the team leader Miguel Cabrera. The terrific start continues for Alex. Meanwhile, Pineda, who threw 6 shutout innings against Oakland his last time out, has given up 2 quick ones here today. Here's Don Kelly. Still only 1 out of the inning. Strike 1 on the outer edge. Kelly batting .238 overall this year. Drives this one to center field. Saunders going back, has room. Avila tagging, and he'll get to third base. 2 gone.
It's a nice job by Avila. There are a lot more ways you can score from third base than second base. You don't necessarily need a hit to drive you in. It could be a wild pitch. It could be an error in the infield. Number of different ways.
Alex, a big 2-run double, standing at third now with 2 outs for Will Rhymes. So Leland putting him in the 9 slot in the game here today. And Rhymes looks at strike 1. It's the first time this season Rhymes has hit 9th, but he's run into a little bit of bad luck early. He's hit some balls hard, but he has struggled with the bat overall. One and one. Good start for the Tigers today. They get a couple of runs here in the bottom of the second. Trying to avoid the sweep. Two and one on Will. Will right now trying to snap an 0 for 11. Meanwhile, Pineda has just thrown his 25th pitch this half inning after a snappy first inning. Missed again. 3-1. There's Jackson waiting on deck. And he walked him. So Rhymes coaxes a base on balls, the second in the inning for Pineda. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Simply use your cell phone and text Tigers, followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. And the final results coming your way during Tigers Live postgame today. Here was Jackson. Swing and a miss. Austin fanned back in the first.
I think he would put some eye black on too so he could see that fastball, because he didn't see it back in the first.
In that first inning, a very impressive first frame. Strikeouts of Jackson, Santiago, and Ordonez. Fouled back, 0-2. Pineda is a native of the Dominican Republic, 22 years of age. Blew through the minor leagues last year, was a combined 11-4 at AA and AAA. Checked it, but he went. And Jackson is out. So are the Tigers. They get a couple of runs, though. And you're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. And by your neighborhood Spartan stores. For locations, check out turntospartan.com. Hope you brought your blanket today. You're going to need it. Or a jacket. Or a hoodie. All of the above. Keep nice and toasty here on a chilly afternoon at the ballpark. Some hardy fans out there today. The Tigers and M's wrapping up this series. And the Tigers have a 2-0 lead for Brad Penny. As we travel now to the top of the third here at the ballpark. Penny gave up a walk in the second, but no damage done. The only base runner Seattle has had so far. They've got Saunders, Wilson, and Suzuki coming up here in the third. Saunders in the series 1 for 7. Does have a double, though, and he's also walked once. And he looks at strike one. Saunders, a native of Victoria, British Columbia. And as you might expect, played hockey, played lacrosse as a kid, 2 very popular sports in Canada. And is a big fan, of course, following the NHL playoffs as well. He lines one back up the middle into center. First hit of the day for Seattle. Saunders is on. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Jack Wilson. Wilson has a couple of hits in the series, including a double. He looks at strike one. Wilson as well has had good luck against Penny. 5 for 14 versus Brad in his career. Saunders being held by Miguel Cabrera. Make it 0-2 on Jack. 9 seasons a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was a fixture in Pittsburgh. There were some thoughts that the Tigers were looking at Wilson to try and pick him up a couple of years ago to play the shortstop position. He's playing second base for Seattle today. Here's the 0-2. A little bit outside. 1-2 on Wilson. Penny had a 1-2-3 first. He has given up a single here in the third to lead things off. Red making just his third lifetime start against Seattle. And the 1-2 runner goes, and it's floated foul back into the seats. And as steady as Wilson has been offensively, defensively he is well above average.
He's got good feet, and it really doesn't matter what side of the ball he's playing on. He's going to get that good first quick step, and that allows him to make plays.
And he has made a highlight or two in his career defensively. That time robbing Johnny Peralta a couple of nights ago. 1-2 on Wilson. Ooh, that was close. Not close enough, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wilson. Ichiro will be next. Tigers got a pair in the bottom of the second, and Seattle now trying to answer here in the top of the third.
Well, you want to make it happen here if you're Penny. You want some contact out of the bat of Wilson. That's in case Saunders is not on the move on this pitch. You can still get a double play if it's on the ground.
Line drive over the head and glove of Will Rhymes into right field, and Saunders will go to second, and Seattle now with a threat going.
That is something Seattle has done well in the prior 2 games in this series. The latter third of their batting order has gotten on base and scored some runs.
So that's going to set the table now for Ichiro, who bounced out to start the game 0 for 1. Ichiro playing in his 218th consecutive baseball game here today.
Don't know exactly what Eric Wedge is thinking here, but Suzuki is a tremendous bunter. But then you have to factor in the number 2 hitter is hitting under 200. You put runners in scoring position for him. The answer to that question, at least on the first pitch, is no.
Ichiro's average at 308 coming in.
Tough to double up is Suzuki.
Earlier this year, Ichiro established the all-time record for hits in a Seattle uniform, beating Edgar Martinez, and he needed 2 hits on a night early in April, and his 2 hits to 1 to tie and 1 to give him the lead, the all-time record, both infield hits.
Imagine that.
Which is to no one's surprise.
He had 59 infield singles last year. 59.
Drives this one in the air, though, high into right field. Long run for Bosch. Not going to get there. Between Bosch and Jackson, Saunders coming in to score. Wilson gets to third. Ichiro gets it done. It's a 2-1 ball game. Third straight hit for Seattle.
It looked like Jackson at the start of this play was playing on the shortstop side of the second base, and Bosch was playing straight up, and therefore that ball, neither could make the play. Both had a long way to run, and it just perfectly placed by Ichiro.
Ichiro now is 6 for his last 10 with runners in scoring position, and he has knocked in his 12th of the year. So Penny is in some trouble here with runners at second and third. Here's Sean Figgins. Bouncing ball left side of the infield. They're going to go to third. Ichiro is out. The run will score as Santiago throws out Ichiro, and it's a 2-2 game.
Bad base running there by Suzuki. When the ball is hit directly at you and hit that sharply, even with your speed, you can't get to third base. As soon as he sees this ball to his left, expect his right, no way he's going to get to third base. Poor decision by Ichiro. Tigers will take it, however.
That'll leave it runner at first base now with 1 out. Ichiro out at third. 6-5 on that put out. And Milton Bradley takes ball one. Bradley 0 for 1 with a fly ball. Fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you know that Figgins more than likely is going to try to steal second base. And Jim might be thinking about pitching out, trying to help Avila. We've already told you that Penny is not the quickest in getting the ball to his catcher.
Off the outside corner. 2-1 on Bradley. Here's why Figgins is such a threat. Since 2004, he has stolen 310. It's 4th in all of baseball, not just the American League, but Major League Baseball. Bradley hits a double play ball to second. Rhymes, Santiago on to first, and there's your twin killing. So Penny gives back the 2 runs they got him in the bottom of the second. We go to the bottom of the third in a 2-2 game. Thanks for the information. We'll be tuned in. No question about that. And good luck to the Wings in round 2. Here it is a 2-2 game. And Santiago leads it off, then Ordonez, and then Cabrera. Michael Pineda back to the hill. Striking out the side in the first, but giving up 2 runs in the second. Santiago struck out his first time up. One of the 5 already put up by Pineda. The 0-2 pitch. Slice toward left. It is sinking. Bradley on the run to make the catch, and a nice slide.
Had him played perfectly. He had him shaded over toward that left field line. And even though that ball was slicing on Milton, he got a pretty good beat on it and made a nice play.
One away in the Tigers' third. Ordonez takes ball 1. Pineda threw 30 pitches in that second inning alone, which bumped his pitch count up. And for Michael, that is a bit of an issue this year because they have said they want to cap him at about 105 pitches per start. They certainly want to be very cautious with his young arm. And I think that's something that a lot of teams will do now with young pitchers that have a bright future.
No doubt about that.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
If you're Eric Wedge, the new skipper of the Seattle Mariners, the last thing that you want is for a phenom like this kid to get hurt on your watch.
Fouled straight back. Well, when they had Felix Hernandez as a young pitcher a couple of years ago in 06, they wanted to make sure that he didn't throw more than 200 innings, including spring training. So they kept a very close eye on him, and they plan to do the same here with Pineda. Got him in the outside corner, and Maglio is caught looking.
That is just filthy. 96 away from the arm side, on the black at the knees. Unhittable pitch.
Well, give him 6 strikeouts. Wow. Literally unhittable. Cabrera fouls it back. Pineda has at least 5 strikeouts in 4 straight starts. His high is 7, so he's just about there. Popped him up. Shallow right field. The second baseman Wilson to the grass. Going to be a quick inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Michael Pineda.
I pitched, so spring training was basically me just going out there and trying to build arm strength and not being able to work on any of my pitches really like I want to. So I've been throwing pins, long pins, longer in between. So I feel like I'm coming around. The only time I've really not pitched well is when I walk and I get myself in trouble.
Well, that's a good point, Rod, when you consider that he didn't pitch a whole lot last year, and I guess we tend to forget sometimes that it does take a while to build that arm strength up, and while you're doing that, you really can't work on a whole lot.
It's a nice sign as well by Dave Dombrowski, the general manager. He knew Penny when he was a youngster and also knew if Penny could somehow get healthy and get that arm strength back, then he would be very valuable to this starting rotation.
So Penny back to work. The Tigers 2 and Seattle 2 here in the series finale. Miguel Olivo will lead things off for Seattle in the 4th. And a breaking ball drops in nicely.
That's the one pitch that Penny continues to say is coming. He feels a lot better about his curveball. And when he's got that kind of separation in between the fastball and the curveball, that curveball 75 miles an hour, his fastball 90, he can be effective.
1 ball, 1 strike. Olivo is 0 for 1. He's followed by Smoke and then Kennedy here in the 4th. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Another breaking ball and another dandy. 1-2.
3 in a row.
Olivo was recently elevated to the cleanup slot in their lineup, trying to something a little bit different to try and get the offense jump started. And Olivo has a .538 on base percentage, batting 4th. He's had a good series. 5 hits, as a matter of fact. Bounces this one fair off the glove of Kelly at third base. And so Olivo is on again. Base hit.
Looked like Kelly had a pretty good beat on this ball. The ball right off the heel of the glove.
Leadoff man on for the second straight inning. The last inning, they put the first 3 men on, scored a couple of runs. Justin Smoak, the batter. He drives one hard in the air, deep into right center field, way back. Jackson turns on it. It's up against the wall. This will get a run in. Smoak is on his way to second. He'll pull in there with another extra base hit and RBI. He has killed the Tigers in this series. Six doubles this year now for Smoak.
He is a really good looking young prospect.
He also hit that ball into the teeth of the wind, which is blowing from right to left. And Smoak now has 8 driven in the series. Kennedy fouls it back out of play. Well, I guess when you make a deal like you do for Cliff Lee and you get a lot of young talent in return, you really don't know how long it's going to take for some of that high ceiling talent to pay dividends. But it looks like the window is very small for Smoak. He has arrived.
And if you're the general manager, in this case being Jack Zurincic, the GM of Seattle, you can't miss on all the players. You've got to nail at least one of them if you're trading a guy like Cliff Lee. And apparently they have landed a real nice first baseman of their future.
There's a bouncer hit to the right side. Cabrera will gobble this one up and Smoak will move up. Kind of as a comparison, the Indians had to deal some big parts away. They got Matt Laporta, who has taken a longer time to make an impact.
You know, they've traded away CC the last few years. They've also traded away Victor Martinez. They traded away Cliff Lee early on. And I don't really know, at least yet, we haven't seen them, how many of those young kids have really come and are going to be impact players. Because when you trade away all-star caliber players as they have and guys that have won Cy Youngs, you would hope that the return on your investment would be good.
Infield coming in now for Detroit with Rodriguez up there. And ball 1 to Luis Rodriguez. Flied out to center field, his first at bat. Seattle has taken the lead. They have 3 runs on 5 hits. Wave and a miss, 1-1. This after the Tigers had taken a 2-0 lead with a couple of runs on Michael Pineda in the second. Smoak at third with 1 out. And the 1-1. Breaking ball, another good one. He's got some loop on that breaking ball today.
That's not necessarily the one that you want to throw when you've gotten ahead 2 strikes, because that's a hanging breaking ball. That's just his get me over pitch. But those don't work well with 2 strikes. If you're going to throw another breaking ball, you got to make sure you get that one down. That's something Rodriguez can't reach.
He pulled that one foul. Rodriguez spent the entire year at AAA last year at Charlotte. Back in the big leagues here, we mentioned a former Minnesota Twin.
Which means he knows how to play the game correctly.
Fundamentally sound, it seems the Twins are year after year. 1-2. Two on Luis Rodriguez.
Avila wanted the fastball up. Take a look at Avila here. He wants it up, and Penny throws it down.
It's almost a strike. A little bit low, though. Lifted in the air, shallow left center field, and on a dive, it is caught by Ryan Rayburn. Not trapped, but caught. Rayburn coming in. That looked like trouble from the get-go.
Initially, I thought Jackson had a chance to get there, but then here comes Rayburn out of nowhere and picks it cleanly right off the carpet.
So that's a big out. 2 away. Smoke holding at third base. Here's Michael Saunders. Strike 1 on Saunders. He started their rally in the third with a leadoff single against Penny, and eventually scored on the double by Ichiro Suzuki. Good pitch, breaking ball in the outer edge, and very quickly 0-2. Vila, nice job of smothering that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Saunders. Penny now at 58 pitches in this game. He threw 95 over 7 innings in that awesome start against Chicago his last time out. His first win as a Tiger. Pulled on the ground to first base, Roddy Cabrera. That'll end the inning. However, Seattle takes the lead on the RBI double by Smoke. Maglio Ordonez is the Comerica Park doubles leader with 99 in his career. What Tiger holds the doubles record at Tiger Stadium?
Tiger Stadium.
Who has hit more two-base hits at Tiger Stadium than anybody? That's your question today. And we'll get you the answer in a little bit. In the meantime, the Tigers coming to the plate here in the fourth inning. They'll have Bosch, Rayburn, and Avila. First pitch is hammered in the air, deep into center field. Saunders going back. The wind knocked that one down, it appeared. And Saunders got there. He was on a dead sprint, then he slowed down a little bit. Bosch is out, one gone. 5 in a row retired by Pineda. That's what hitters are dealing with. The windy conditions here today. It's the flag out there in left center field. We'll bring up Rayburn. Breaking ball, strike one. Pineda gave up a couple of runs in the second, but aside from that has looked lights out. Swing and a miss. 0-2. He was actually coming into this season their number 2 prospect overall in their system. Dustin Ackley, an infielder, was their top prospect. The 0-2. And the 2-2 pitch fouled away. Rayburn had a walk and a run scored. He came around on the Avila 2-run double. That's going to sting for a while.
You got that right on a chilly day like today.
Chopped to third, foul. I'm guessing he gets the feeling back in that hand probably around the 9th inning or so.
Maybe a little longer than that.
Doesn't matter though, he's got that souvenir.
He's a hero too in her book.
And again the 2-2. It's outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. In and out, back in the glove again. He's wishing he had the glove right now. That's a good catch. 3-2 pitch is hit in the air. Center field, pretty deep, playable though. Saunders. And there are 2 gone.
Not a whole lot of damage to be done in center field today. You got 420 at your back if you're Saunders and Jackson. And then you've got the wind blowing across right to left.
It's going to bring up Alex Avila, who is responsible for all of the Tigers offense today. A 2-run double. Season average now is holding steady at .313. And Pineda hits the inside corner, strike one. Two.
Avila got off to a little bit of a slow start last year when he was pressed into duty early because Gerald Laird just wasn't swinging the bat all that effectively. But this year, he's kind of playing more up to the potential that they thought that he had when they drafted him a few years ago.
Showing flashes his first couple of years. I still remember that home run that he hit in Minnesota. Was that last year? Did he hit 2 in one game in Minnesota last year?
He did.
Swing and a miss. He'll go down this time in a 1-2-3 inning for Pineda. 7 strikeouts now for the big right-hander. (1946) what Tiger holds the doubles record at Tiger Stadium. Put a little bit of a qualifier on that right now. Since 1946, which Tiger had the most doubles in a career at Tiger Stadium? There you go, the great Al Kaline.
I guessed Lou Whitaker, and they told me that he was second to Al Kaline.
Good guess. So Al, who has a statue here, is the all-time leader in that category at the Grand Ole Ballpark in Michigan and Trumbull.
And not only does he have a statue, but he's got his own corner too.
That's true.
You know you've done something when you got your own corner.
Statue's one thing, but a corner, that's something else. Jack Wilson leads it off as we go to the 5th inning here. The Tigers down 3-2. Seattle in search of a sweep. They have not done that to Detroit since 2003, the year the Tigers lost 119 games. And Brad Penny delivers a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1-1 on Wilson. Today in the ball game, a single and a run scored. Wilson now 3 for 5 in this series against Detroit. Wave and a miss. 1-2. Tigers are headed to Cleveland after this game. Seattle is going to Boston to take on the Red Sox. You can tell the heaters are going in the Tigers dugout, doing all they can to keep warm. The temp right now at 49. And the 1-2 fouled off. Wilson and then Ichiro and then Figgins. Pulled foul as Penny came inside with the fastball. 2-2 the count stays on Jack Wilson.
95 with that last fastball by Brad. We have not seen Brad touch 95 on many occasions this year. So that arm strength must be coming back.
And he got him. Strike three. Wilson is called out by Jim Joyce. That is his first strikeout of the game.
Avila is doing a nice job of getting off that plate on the outer edges, knowing that Jim Joyce has been given that call today, and he pulls the ball back down inside ever so slightly. And the Fox Tracks is telling us it's strike, but you can see Avila's body is off the plate and basically telling Penny, make sure if you miss over here outside, not inside.
That'll bring up Ichiro. And he chops the first pitch right past Penny. Rhymes, no chance. Another infield hit.
Imagine that.
His second hit today.
Nothing Rhymes could do here. Rhymes appeared to be thinking about barehanding the ball, but his feet kind of got caught up. Therefore, he fielded it with the glove and then tried to exchange it and wisely held on to it because he wasn't going to get him.
So that'll bring up Sean Figgins, who knocked in a run with a fielder's choice back in the third. Ball one to Figgins.
And Figgins is a good number 2 hitter. He is not afraid to take a pitch or two and to allow Suzuki to try to steal a base if that is part of their game plan.
Toward left field, slicing away. And Rayburn into the seats, reaches. Couldn't hold on to it, though. And banged his knee as well.
It's dangerous down in that left field corner. Very short fence.
One ball, one strike. Ground ball foul, first base side. Figgins growing up was a big fan of Ozzie Smith, the great St. Louis Cardinals shortstop. And Ozzie, of course, was very famous for that backflip he used to do when he ran out on the field at Busch Stadium. And Figgins grew up in Georgia, Leary, Georgia. And they say that Figgins, when he played Little League ball, would imitate Ozzie Smith and do backflips on the Little League fields.
I can see him doing that.
It always amazed me the way Ozzie could do that. The 1-2. Fouled away. But if you ask all these big league players, most of them will give you their favorite player growing up, guys they idolized. For Figgins, it was Ozzie Smith.
Figgins also said he enjoyed watching those St. Louis Cardinals teams that had lots of speed with Vince Coleman, Willie McGee.
He'd have fit right into those teams.
Got that right. He's a throwback kind of guy.
Ichiro chase back. Ichiro aboard on the infield single. Penny has thrown 70 pitches. Was given a 2-0 lead, but the M's tied it up with a pair in the third and one more in the fourth to go ahead. They still lead 3-2. Bouncing ball right side. It'll find a hole into right field. Ichiro will head to third base, and he'll get in there standing up. Figgins finds a seam, and Seattle now with runners at first and third.
Well, with Rhymes playing over close to second base at double play depth, there was no way he was going to get back in and get this ball. And because it wasn't hit all that hard, Ichiro with his speed scampering to third without a throw.
7 hits for Seattle, only 2 for the Tigers this afternoon. And more trouble now for Brad Penny as Milton Bradley stands in. Penny now desperate for a ground ball here. Bradley hit into a double play his last time, and he fouls the first one back. Milton does not have a hit in the series, 0 for 8, although he's walked a couple of times. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and Brad has thrown that pitch a lot today. Nipping the outer edge against the left-handed batter. You can see Seattle in this series with men in scoring position. Some pretty good numbers right there. 11 for 26. That is getting it done for a team that had trouble scoring runs coming into the series. The offensive numbers have improved dramatically. The 0-2. Vila started out to the mound, and now he's going to backpedal behind the plate. One and two on Milton Bradley. We're in the 5th inning. Tigers down 3-2, and Seattle threatening for more here with only 1 out. Runner goes from first base, and it's fouled back out of play. Figgins was on the move. .75 pitches now for Brad Penny. Again, he threw 95 in 7 innings of work against Chicago in that fabulous start back on the 23rd. And the 95 representing the most pitches he has thrown in a single start this year. Popped him up. Foul ground left side. Kelly giving chase. Wynn playing with it, and Kelly unable to make the play. Rayburn got there as well, but wasn't able to get close enough. So Bradley's still alive.
One of the tougher plays for third baseman or first baseman when you're running down the line in foul territory with your back turned to the field trying to make a play.
Oh, they bluff, and now Penny will check the runner at third. That's Ichiro. They've got Figgins in a rundown. They'll keep one eye on the runner at third base. Here's the throw, the tag, and they get Figgins, and Ichiro is unable to score.
For the second consecutive day, Figgins picked off first base. We've seen this play work, what, twice already this year?
Yeah, after never ever seeing it work.
After a decade of not seeing it work?
I don't know if it was that long, but it seems like it.
It's worked twice in the first 3 weeks of the season.
It has. It's stunning. It really is. If you're keeping score at home, and we know you are, 1-3-6-1. Did you keep score at home when you were a kid?
No, I didn't. I did not.
At the ballpark either?
Nope, neither way. I was too busy running around trying to eat them hot dogs.
Good point. That's much more fun.
Yes,
anyway.
indeed. Malts and fries. And had no time to keep score.
So you were into health food as a kid then?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Like most kids.
1-2. That's fouled away. So that really changes the complexion of this inning quite a bit. Penny has a chance now to pitch out of it. Tapped slowly and fouled on the first base line. You know, when you look back at that play, I guess one of the most difficult things to do for the Tigers is to make sure Ichiro doesn't come home and score on that play, because Figgins did all he could to force as many throws as he could.
Well, you got to keep one eye on him, which Santiago did once he got the ball, and Cabrera as well. And Ichiro wisely stayed put at third base.
Penny, meanwhile, trying to finish off Milton Bradley, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Good block by Avila, saving a run. And that was the 8th pitch in this at bat.
Picture perfect. There by Avila. Slide over, get in front of it, bend over at the waist.
2-2 on Bradley. And he struck him out. Bradley finally goes down after a lengthy battle. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit this afternoon, and it's presented by Bell Tire.
Youngster Michael Pineda has been as good as advertised here this afternoon against the Tigers. Overpowering fastball up to 98 miles an hour, but more impressive has been a little slide piece he's been throwing here today. He's gotten himself a few strikeouts.
Well, Pineda has not had anything hit on the ground against him. It's either been a flyout or a strikeout.
From the arm slot that he throws from, most of his fastballs are up in the strike zone. Therefore, that's the reason why the flyouts and not many groundouts.
Brendan Ryan is the new shortstop. He has taken over at that position. Don Kelly showing bunt, and he takes a strike. Meanwhile, Rodriguez will slide over to second base. Wilson out of the game. Kelly takes a ball inside. 1-1 on Don Kelly. He'll be followed by Will Rhymes and then Austin Jackson. 7 in a row retired by the right-hander Pineda. Lifted to left center field. And Bradley gets there for the out. Make it 8 straight retired. 1 gone in the 5th. Here's Will Rhymes. Pineda has been pretty much as advertised. He's been very impressive. Only 2 hits allowed so far. The Tigers had a couple of doubles in the 2nd. They got their 2 runs in that inning. Rhymes walked back in the 2nd. Pulls this one to right field. That'll drop in right in front of Ichiro. Make it 3 hits for Detroit. Will Rhymes out for the 2nd time. Well, our new episode of Tigers Weekly examines some of the special relationships within the Tigers roster that help bond the ball club on the field and in the clubhouse. It's all about team chemistry on Tigers Weekly, premiering tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Here's Austin Jackson. Strike 1 on Jackson, who was fanned twice in this game.
Steady diet of fastballs from Pineda to Austin. Rough series for Austin after having a really good series last weekend against the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, it really started to look like that Austin was going to bust out of it and become the Austin we saw last year offensively, but this Seattle pitching has manhandled it. 0 for 10 of the series. But as we say all the time, all it takes is 1 big hit to help your team win. Bouncing ball slowly towards 2nd. Rodriguez flips to 2nd 1, and that's all they'll get. Jackson aboard on the fielder's choice. They force Rhymes at 2nd base.
It's a good aggressive slide by Will Rhymes, and Ryan wisely jumped out of his way, knowing that he was not going to complete the double play with Jackson running.
Going to bring up Santiago with 2 outs. Santiago getting a start here this afternoon. Johnny Peralta, one of the veterans, sitting down today. So is Brandon Inge, as Jim Leyland gives the left side of his infield a rest this afternoon. Pineda at 72 pitches. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast they would like to cap him at about 105 pitches at the upper end of the pitch count during his starts this year. Ball 1 to Santiago.
I also like the idea of having Santiago and also Rhymes in the batting order today, especially against a hard thrower like Pineda. Those guys tend to have more success than power hitters, guys that have power. You get on, wreak a little havoc. You might steal a base. You can bunt, different things like that. I'm sure that went into the decision making here today for Jim, along with resting the veterans.
The 1-0, runner bluffs and a wave and a tip into the glove. 1-1 Santiago. Ramon hit the ball hard his last time up, lining to the left fielder Bradley. Struck out back in the 1st. Wind is really howling now. Swing and a miss.
Some uncomfortable swings against Pineda today, whether it be on the fastball or the breaking ball.
the looper toward left, base hit. Well, that just proved your point.
Well, table setters do better. They just don't overswing. All Santiago's trying to do is play pepper. And that's just to put the ball in play and allow the power of the fastball of Pineda to do the work for him. Short and quick, finds a seam. Looks even better in Foxmo.
Tigers have their 4th hit. 2 in this inning. They have runners at first and second. Now their number 3 hitter coming up, Maglio Ordonez. After being in and out of the lineup for the first couple of weeks of April, this is his 6th straight game in which he started now.
Rough day today. A couple of punch outs and by Pineda. And Maglio likes to hit the ball the opposite way when guys throw hard.
Pulls this one to third base. Figgins on a short hop.
Breaking ball.
Hitting over. No runs, couple of hits, 2 left. 5 in the books here at Comerica. 3-2 Seattle. A really good guy here with the Tigers last year, well liked, and doing well now with Tampa.
That he is.
3-2 is our score in this one as we go to the 6th inning. Brad Penny back to the hill. And Penny here in the 6th will face Olivo to start things off.
Couldn't get any better for that little girl there. Got some cotton candy and sitting on daddy's lap.
Did you notice what color the cotton candy was?
I think it was blue.
It was indeed. Now, whose favorite color is blue in cotton candy?
Well, you know that's mine. Without a shot. Right?
You're disowning pink all of a sudden.
I thought we was going to switch it up this year.
Okay. All right, I'll give it to you. 1 strikeout Olivo. He is 1 for 2 today. Singled, scored a run his last time up, and he fouls one back out of play. 0-2.
Hit a weird home run here on Tuesday off Phil Koch. You can watch the game for the next 30 years and you might not see this again.
I think you might be right with that. You know, again, we've seen those types of plays with a guy jumping up against the wall, but
Not at the base of the warning track.
No. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Miguel Olivo. Olivo credits Tony Pena, who was an outstanding former catcher in the big leagues and manager as well, for helping him develop as a young player. He managed him in the Dominican League in winter ball. And I would imagine, learning from Tony Pena, there aren't too many that you would place above that list in recent history, at least.
He was a tremendous catcher. He played the game with a lot of energy, enthusiasm. He had a lot of fun playing.
He had the reputation to be a big talker behind the plate, didn't he?
That he did. That he did.
Here's the 2-2. Bang that one off his foot.
And he did it by design. He wanted to disrupt your attention, is what he did. I mean, from the time you stepped into that batter's box, he was chirping in your ear.
I don't know if there are any guys like that anymore behind the plate that do it as much as Pena did. But I can imagine that would be a huge distraction. Here is Penny's 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball hammered to left, hit well. Rayburn going back on this one. He'll turn, and this one is gone by itself. It didn't need any help.
One too many breaking balls today to Olivo. Olivo's last time up, Penny threw him a lot of those same type breaking balls. And I was talking about that little 2-2 get me over breaking ball a couple of innings ago. They're not really good pitches. You got to get them down. Now, this is a breaking ball right around the belt buckle. 2 strikes as a hitter. You're kind of holding back because you're not trying to overswing, and the result is a good one for Olivo. 2 strikes. You got to get that breaking ball down.
How about the series Olivo has had? 2 more hits today, including another home run. Olivo with 7 hits in the series.
He was swinging the bat better when he came to Comerica Park. He just was not having much luck at all. But it has turned here for him.
And the 0-1. Justin Smoke has had himself quite a series as well. He's walked and doubled in this game. He's driven in a run. And right now he has a 10-game hitting streak. Here's the 0-2. Pulled foul.
Well, here's some of the damage that the youngster Justin Smoke has done in this series.
One and 2 on Smoke, who left South Carolina, which, by the way, is a tremendous baseball program in college baseball. Is their home run leader all time with 62 career home runs. And a wave and a miss. Penny strikes him out. 3 strikeouts for Brad Penny. First out of the 6th.
It's a better located off speed pitch here. It's a breaking ball, and that one is down. That one works.
Here's Adam Kennedy. Seattle has added a run here. They lead 4-2. Popped him up. Kelly toward the dugout, and he's out of room. Here comes the souvenir. Seattle signed Kennedy as a minor league free agent this past offseason. He spent last year over in the National League with the Washington Nationals. Kennedy, back in high school, played for his dad at JW North High School in Riverside, California.
That had to be tough.
I can't imagine. I mean, it's got to be a great experience in some ways, but you're right, it has to be tough in others.
Dads are always tough on their own boys.
There's a strike on the outer edge, 1-2.
I played for my dad back in Little League.
Is that right?
Used to hate it.
Was he on you all the time?
Oh, are you kidding me?
I used to hate it. 1-2.
I wonder what my boys tune me out nowadays.
Yep. Penny creeping toward 100 pitches. Brad right now at 95. He has shown some real good velocity on that fastball today. That stroke to left field, and Adam Kennedy has a base hit. So Seattle with 9 more hits today. Rick Knapp on the phone. That means the bullpen will start to stir. So Penny now has officially thrown more pitches in this start than in any other start this year at 96. Trying to get through this 6th inning. Luis Rodriguez, the batter. And off the slab goes Penny, chasing the runner back. There's the activity in the Detroit bullpen. Al Albuquerque.
He looked good last night.
There goes the runner, and it's fouled back out of play. You know, there have been stretches this year where Villarreal has looked awesome, Albuquerque has looked awesome, and I think Leland is getting a good long look at some young arms in the organization and what they can do.
They're not afraid. They've got good arms, fastballs in the mid-90s, and they've got really good secondary pitches. Both guys throw outstanding sliders.
One on Rodriguez. Kennedy leaning at first base. Holding this time. It's hit in the air to right on a line and caught.
They have not missed those breaking balls in this inning. That was a breaking ball lined out sharply by Rodriguez to right, but Kennedy base hit. Olivo also played long ball on a breaking ball in this inning.
2 outs. Now Michael Saunders. By the way, Jack Wilson, who left this game earlier, officially left with eye irritation. So that's why Brendan Ryan came in this game. Ryan waiting on deck. Saunders, meanwhile, 1 for 2, single and a run scored. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 on Saunders. Driven to center field. Jackson coming on. And that will take care of Seattle here in the 6th, but they add a run on the Olivo home run. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Coors Light freeze cam. We're going to take you back to the 4th inning with Rodriguez being the batter. A runner on third with one out. Rayburn comes in and picks one off the carpet and makes a dandy play here. Justin Smoke had to hold up at third base. Coors Light freeze cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, for the 3rd time in this series, the Tigers have some work to do. They are down 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. They've been out hit today 9-4. And the young right-hander, 22-year-old Michael Pineda, back to the hill, facing Cabrera, Bosch, and Rayburn. The only Tigers runs coming in the 2nd. They picked up both runs in that frame. And Miguel had a big swing, 0-1. Cabrera is 0 for 2, strikeout and a pop-up. Pineda started this game with a bang. He struck out the side in the 1st inning, struck out 4 straight to start the game. And he darts one home in for a strike, 96 miles an hour, 0-2. The only injury problems that Pineda has had in his minor league career was back in 2009. He had an elbow issue, some tenderness in his elbow they had to deal with. And made only 10 starts that year. Missed it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside again, 3-2. Brendan Bosch waiting on deck. After Pineda struck out 4 straight to start the game, Bosch got him for a double. And the 3-2 pitch. He walked him. Leadoff man is on. It's a 3rd walk now for Pineda.
Hey fans, celebrate the start of the season with the spring ticket deal. $15 mezzanine seats are only $10 for select games in May. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. I guess with the spring ticket deal, you may as well bring along some of that good spring weather as well.
Wouldn't hurt. Certainly could use it today. But at least it's not raining here today. Bosch looks at ball 1.
It was supposed to rain the last 3 days. All 3 of these games were supposed to be in jeopardy.
Fortunately, the rain came mostly overnight when it didn't matter. And I didn't think we had a shot at getting all 3 of these in.
A lot of thunder and lightning last night in my area.
Bosch in this game, a double In 2 at-bats, he's also scored a run. Big swing, sends it straight back. Pineda has limited the Tigers so far today to 4 hits. And the 1-1. Fouled away again. 1-2 on Bosch. It was this time last year that Bosch was really taking the American League by storm. He made his debut on April 23rd last year. So this year, from the beginning of the season, making the roster on opening day, he has really performed well and has not been a concern at all for Lloyd McClendon. Takes high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Brennan Bosch made a trip back to Detroit right before Tiger Fest in the Caravan, and worked about a week with Lloyd McClendon, just one-on-one, watching some video, hitting in the cages down there. I think Brandon Inge did that a couple of years ago. Lloyd just wanted to see where Brennan was as far as what he had done in the offseason. And he didn't tinker with him very much. Brennan came into those sessions with a pretty good feel of having had that success the first half, and also dealing with those failures that he had the second half of the year. And Lloyd said when he came, he looked very good and didn't have to do a whole lot.
He's ahead in the count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cabrera has led it off for the walk. He's at first base. 3-2 is swung on and missed. He tipped it actually into the glove for strike 3.
Most of his fastballs are just like that last one. Doesn't really get on top of it. More like rising fastballs from Pineda.
He has now racked up 8 strikeouts today. Here's Ryan Rayburn. Ball 1 to Ryan.
Scherzer, every now and then, when he drops his arm angle a little lower than he wants to be, he has that same kind of explosive rising fastball in the mid-90s.
Max will be pitching in that series in Cleveland. And that starts tomorrow with Scherzer and Genmar Gomez hooking up in game 1.
Justin Masterson will pitch on Sunday against Phil Koch. He is 5-0 this year. A lot of people talking about Weaver out west, and rightfully so. Jared's a tremendous pitcher, but not a lot of people talking about Justin Masterson in Cleveland.
Good point. The Indians have been a big story around baseball because of their start. Masterson a big part of it. How about those Indians that are coming up over the weekend? They've won 9 straight at home.
Getting it done.
Now Brady Sizemore is back as well, and that certainly has helped their offense.
They took their time with him too. They didn't rush him back. And the word out of Cleveland is that Sizemore looks like he looked a couple of years ago when he was making all-star teams.
Well, that's not good news for the rest of the Central, because he can be a really big part of that offense.
Takes a lot of pressure off of Asdrubal Cabrera, Sensu Chu. Travis is all of a sudden Pronk again. And they like Pronk in Cleveland.
And the 2-2. Popped him up. Behind the plate, Olivo has room. And Rayburn is out. 2 gone. That's going to leave it up to Alex Avila. Albuquerque no longer throwing in the pen. Now it's Ryan Perry, who hasn't pitched since the 23rd. Four to 2 Seattle. Tigers led 2-0 after 2, but Seattle putting up 2 in the 3rd and single runs in the 4th and 6th. Avila fouls one back out of play. Only 4 hits today for Detroit. Doubles by Bosch and Alex in the 2nd inning. They got a single from Santiago in the 5th and a single from Rhymes in the 5th. Fouled away, 0-2.
Well, Pineda is 97 pitches into this game, and he's still, as you mentioned, pitching at 96. There's very few of these guys walking around. Some guys can touch 96 and get a little higher on occasion, but just about every fastball he throws is 95 miles an hour and above.
Well, the Tigers will get him out of the game after 6 innings if he can get through the 6th here, because he's approaching his pitch limit. So they'll have a crack at the bullpen again in this one, and David Pauly was really good a couple of nights ago. He is warming up in their bullpen. Pineda has done a good job of pounding the strike zone. He's walked 3 but has struck out 8. One and 2.
That one must have jumped up a bit Olivo somewhere. He needs a little extra time to gather himself.
One and 2 on Avila. Jim Joyce giving him a couple of extra minutes by dusting off the plate. Tigers got the leadoff walk from Cabrera, but 2 outs later he's still standing at first. And time call now by Alex. And the 1-2. Oh, it bounces in right in front of the plate all the way to the backstop. And Cabrera moves up on a wild pitch.
You talk about a helpless feeling. If you're Olivo, you call for the fastball and it's at 97 miles an hour and it's a 55-footer. He had no shot at knocking that one down.
And now Pineda has hit 100 pitches on the afternoon. His wild pitches are thrown so hard they come right back to the catcher after hitting the backstop. 2-2 on Avila. And the 2-2. Got him. Strike 3 in the outside corner. 9 strikeouts for Michael Pineda. Tigers strand a man at second base. Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire.
That last fastball at 96 miles an hour, probably the last pitch of the night for Michael Pineda. It appeared to be off the plate, but called a strike by Jim Joyce.
And although Avila disagreed, didn't matter. Still 4-2 as we go to the 7th. Brad Penny will answer the bell here. 102 pitches into this game in the 7th inning. Brendan Ryan will lead it off, and then Ichiro, and then Sean Figgins. 2-run game, 4-2 in favor of Seattle. Ryan hits the first pitch on the ground to Santiago. 1 gone. That'll bring up the top of the order now, Ichiro. Outstanding effort today by Michael Pineda. He finishes with 9 strikeouts. It's just a matter of whether or not his bullpen can save this one for him. Ichiro 2 out of 3. Doubled and run back in the 3rd. And he takes ball 1. Ichiro is the last player remaining from their 2001 team. It was their last playoff team in Seattle, and that club won 116 games back in 01. Ichiro's rookie year, and he batted .350 on that team, and that was a team that was stacked with some pretty good hitters. In fact, Carlos Guillen, the current Tiger, was on that team. Here's the 2-0. 3-0 on Ichiro. Talking last night about Ichiro coming to the States and the fact that he felt a lot of pressure because he was the first position player to come from Japan, and had he failed or not had the success that he's had, he felt that maybe the door would close on position players. We've seen a lot of pitchers come over from Japan, and some had success, some not so much, but you cannot argue the success that Ichiro has had.
By far, he has been the best to ever come out of Japan.
Yeah, not even close. 3-1 on Ichiro. Fouled it off. 3-2.
I played over in Japan for 3 years from '89 through '91. And there were no Ichiro Suzukis. They had a couple of pitchers that probably could have pitched over here in certain rotations. But there were no guys over there from an offensive standpoint that were as good as him. Not a one.
Did you face any guys over in Japan that ended up playing in the big leagues? What happened there?
Yes, I did. I faced, what was his name? Kazuhiro Sasaki?
Yeah.
I faced him over in Japan before he came stateside. And then I can't really pronounce the other guy's name, but I know his last name's Kita. He also pitched for the Tigers. First name was with an M.
Masao Kita.
Yeah, well, I knew you'd know that. Kita was his last name. And also faced him in Japan.
Here's what happened. He was throwing the ball in, and it hit Ichiro. Oops.
Penny, my bad.
And the 3-2. Bouncing ball to short. And they get Ichiro by a step. Two gone.
He makes every ground ball. Bang, bang at first base. You have to love the way he plays the game.
We've seen some weird stuff coming from the mound this year. Of course, that Verlander thing we saw in Oakland. And Penny simply wanting a new baseball and throwing one right at Ichiro. The ball inside to Figgins. Of course, the Twins brought over the infield in Nishioka, and he broke his leg earlier this year. But they feel that he can play at this level. Speaking of position players, the 2-0 pitch is rolled to the right side, and Will Rhymes gobbles this one up. Figgins is out, and the inning is over. Penny's first 1-2-3 since the first inning. Here is our Comerica game summary as we go to the bottom of the seventh. Mariners starters in this series have a sparkling 2.37 ERA. Olivo and Smoke have combined in this series for 25 total bases and 11 RBIs. Bosch has been on base in 16 straight games. And we have a new pitcher now. It's David Pauly in our Wallside Windows pitching chain.
He's already been on the mound 8 times for Eric Wedge this year, and the numbers are sparkling for David Pauly. Real good two-seam fastball, anywhere from 88 to 91. nice breaking ball as well. And when you have those two pitches and they're working well for you, you can post the kind of numbers he's posted the first 3 weeks of this season.
He threw 2 scoreless innings a couple of nights ago here at Comerica Park against the Tigers. Gave up just 1 hit.
The Tigers are at this point just kind of happy that Michael Pineda is out of this game with that stuff that he was featuring this afternoon.
Don Kelly fouls it off. Paulie back on the 20th in Seattle threw 4 scoreless in relief against Detroit. So he's done some of his best work this year against the Tigers. They'll try and get to him here in the 7th. Bouncing ball for the shortstop Ryan. Kelly is out, 1 away.
Hey fans, as soon as the game ends, stay with us for Tigers Live. We'll go to the clubhouse to hear from the manager Jim Leland and the players. Plus we'll show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit.
The numbers on Pineda threw 101 pitches today with 9 Ks and allowed just 4 hits over 6 innings. Will Rhymes trying to get it started. Will is 1 for 1 with a walk. That's pulled foul down that right field line. He almost snuck one in there. The 0-2 fouled off. Paulie last year made 15 starts for Seattle. Began the year at Tacoma last year. And Rhymes staying alive. 0-2 the count remains. This year he begins the season on the big league roster. Again the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Rhymes is gone. 2 away. And that'll be 10 strikeouts for Seattle pitching in this one. Some movement on that pitch. Here comes Austin Jackson. He's 0 for 3. Down the middle it comes. 0-1. Tigers had 5 hits in the first game in the series. That's driven to center field. Going to be playable though. Saunders is there, and that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for David Paulie. Let's go to the 8th. App for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit tigers.com if you'd like more details. Chilly afternoon here at the ballpark. Tiger bats have been chilly as well. They're down 4-2 as we go now to the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher on for Detroit. That's Ryan Perry.
Well, the Tigers really have not been able to get to the back end of their bullpen in this 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners because they've had no leads late. But Benoit needed work last night. He got in. Perry needs work today.
And he'll get in. The first pitch is in for a strike on Milton Bradley. Bradley in this one here today has struck out, hit into a double play, and flied out. Fouls that one off 0-2.
And Ryan Perry, a closer in waiting. It just depends on whenever that day comes. Upper 90s fastball, real good slider, and has been encouraged to throw his changeup a little bit more frequently this year by Jim Leyland. Adding that third pitch.
The 0-2. Check to swing, and it's rolled foul.
Pretty good idea of having a pretty good breaking ball when you see a swing like that from a veteran batter like Milton Bradley.
You mentioned that third pitch for Perry. Is that the key, the final key for him to becoming a closer, or what do you think?
No, I think he's good with 2 pitches as far as a closer is concerned because he's not going to get beat with that changeup late in games. But it does give him something in fastball counts in the 7th inning, and you've got a dangerous batter up there. Say a good left-handed bat with power. If you have some confidence in throwing that changeup 1-0, 2-1, you can get yourself a nice striker, get him to roll over.
Whistled foul.
I think that's the ideal situation for Perry in his changeup. But when the game's on the line, you're going to see the fastball or the slider. Changeup allows you to get some easy outs every now and then because guys are off balance. They roll over, they pop up.
Seven innings of work here today for the starter Brad Penny. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a tip. Took it right out of the glove of Avila.
I shouldn't say easy outs. There's no easy outs up here in the big leagues. I should say quick outs.
Easier outs.
Yeah, quicker outs.
1-2. Olivo waiting on deck. Then it's going to be Smoke. The 4 and 5 guys for them. Olivo and Smoke have been lights out. Missed it outside. 2-2. Perry spending some time on the disabled list with an eye infection. Through a couple of games rehab in Toledo. He challenged Bradley there on 2-2 and he fouled it straight back. Four to 2 Seattle. Tigers' only lead of the day was 2-0 after 2. Three and 2. Bradley now has worked the count in his favor. Olivo waiting on deck. This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat here to Milton Bradley. And he walked him, so Bradley comes up with a very good at bat here to lead off the 8th.
Olivo's had a pretty good day. He singled back in the 3rd. Then he got that same breaking ball with 2 strikes in the 6th and didn't miss it. Solo shot for Olivo.
First 2 homers of the season for Olivo coming in this series. So a big runner down there at first base in a 2-run game. 7 for 11 in the series for Olivo, and all of a sudden his average up to 236. Rolled foul.
And apparently the scouting report on Olivo is to get him out with breaking balls because Penny attempted to do so with breaking balls. And that first pitch, a slider by Ryan Perry.
And 2.
By the time that third day rolls around, if a guy's 7 for 11, you got to make some adjustments.
You would think so.
Regardless of how you said you were going to pitch him when the series started.
Olivo had 3 hits and an RBI last night. Following that up with a single and a homer in this one. And he got him. Strike 3. Olivo knew it. Back to the bench he goes. First strikeout for Ryan Perry.
Right over the top. 4-seam fastball. 96. Olivo must have been looking for something off speed.
Seattle pitching with 11 strikeouts in this game. The Tigers staff has just picked up their 4th. Here's Smoke. Good pitch on the outer edge. 0-1. Smoke had a double and an RBI in the 4th inning. Tigers today have been out hit 9-4. Runner goes. Here comes the throw. It's high. Tag is late. Stolen base for Bradley.
And nice job by Bradley. Yeah, he got a good jump. Perry had not been paying a whole lot of attention to him. Avila, he tried to rush the throw down to second base, but when you rush, the throws are usually high. And Bradley able to slide in there before the tag is applied by Santiago.
3 steals now for Bradley, so he puts himself into scoring position. And Smoke will try and deliver. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Santiago has it behind the bag. Bradley will go to third base. 2 gone. Now Adam Kennedy. Single for 3 for Kennedy. The DH today for Seattle. Tigers offense in this series, well, today 4 hits, yesterday 7 hits, and the day before that 5 hits. So Seattle pitching has risen to the occasion here. The offense just not able to get it going.
Some good pitching in the American League West. And we've already seen quite a bit of it. We've seen Oakland. They can pitch. We've seen the Rangers as well. And of course, the last 3 days, you've watched some decent pitching here by Seattle staff.
Jamie Wright tuning up.
Yeah, but as Jim Leland says, there's plenty of good pitching around baseball. You just have to figure out a way to beat some of that good pitching.
American League West has Texas up by a 1.5 on the Angels. Oakland and Seattle. And that's outside. Texas right now playing without their best hitter and the MVP Josh Hamilton and their closer Neftali Feliz, who was placed on the DL. So they're closing with Darren Oliver right now.
They're trying to keep their head above water until they get both guys back. their manager is a really good motivator, Ron Washington. They'll be okay.
And we'll just finish it off here and put Kennedy aboard at falling behind, first and third, and take their chances with Luis Rodriguez. Oh for 3 today for Rodriguez. Each time he's put the ball in the air. Perry trying to make sure it doesn't get larger than a 2-run deficit. 4-2 Seattle in the 8th. Strike one in the outside corner. Brad Penny started this one for the Tigers and went 7 innings through 112 pitches before giving way to Ryan Perry here in the 8th. One and one. It's becoming a lengthy inning here for Perry. Third pitch now thrown by Perry. So look at Kennedy's stolen base numbers career at 74%. There's a strike, 1-2. Rodriguez didn't like it, so he'll walk out with a little bit of a silent protest.
Looked like it crossed the plate at the knees, and then it obviously, when it was caught by Avila, the ball was low.
Tigers in the bottom of the 8th inning will have Santiago Ordonez Cabrera 2, 3, and 4. That time it didn't work. Penny made that play work earlier in the game. And the 1-2. Did he go? He did not.
Wow. How come he didn't?
Darrell Cousins, the veteran of 33 years in the big league, said he didn't go.
Good call, I guess.
I think it's a good call. He stretched it to the limit, though. High in the air, deep into right field. On the move back is Bosch. He'll turn, and that ball is out of here. It's a home run for Luis Rodriguez. His first of the season.
Everything has gone right for Seattle in this series. They put Kennedy on ahead of Rodriguez. Kennedy hitting 100 points higher than Rodriguez, and he gets a 2-2 slider and simply drops the bat head and somehow hits it out of here on a day when the wind is blowing in at a brisk pace from right field. That slider down and in.
And a ball to Michael Saunders. That was only the 9th career home run in the big leagues for Rodriguez. And it's a big one. 7-2 now, Seattle. Ball 2. And so Perry laboring here in the 8th, and it all started with a walk to Milton Bradley. That may turn out to be the at bat of this inning because he had fallen behind Perry and kept battling until he finally drew the walk. 2 walks in the inning, 1 intentional, and Rodriguez with a home run. Outside, 3-0. Michael Saunders, the batter. He's 1 for 3. Singled, scored a run back in the third. That hit now gives Seattle 10 hits in the game. Which means the Mariners have gone double digits in every game in this series, hit wise, and they've now hit 5 home runs. Three-two pitch. Pulled on the ground, base hit. That'll get into right field. And so the struggles continue for Perry here in the 8th. Rodriguez's last big league home run was in July of 2009, and he has hit a huge one here today. Brendan Ryan, the batter. He bounced out his first time up. Strike one. Grounded toward third and a scoop. Tough pick on both ends. Kelly to Cabrera to finally end the inning. Big inning though for Seattle as they get 3. Indians, we talked about Masterson a little bit earlier at 5-0. The Royals have hit the skids a little bit. Minnesota's had some big injuries. And the Central is kind of topsy-turvy right now. The favorites, Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago, have all struggled to put streaks together, while the Indians just continue to lead the way.
I think when it's all said and done, the White Sox and Tigers will be right there. I hate to discount Minnesota, but boy, with the injuries that they have and losing Guerrier and Crane, the left-hander Liriano just not pitching all that well, it's going to be tough this year for Ron Gardenhire.
Santiago loops one back out of play.
Nathan coming off surgery a season ago.
Alex Gordon, by the way, recently had a 19-game hitting streak snapped, and he finally, it appears, is putting it together.
Another one of those guys that went back to the drawing board with his hitting instructor all off season. He worked with Kevin Seitzer 3 times a week in Kansas City.
Lifted to center field right at Saunders. And Santiago is out, 1 gone in the 8th.
Looking forward to getting to Cleveland and getting a look at Manny Acta's tribe up close in person.
Well, we'll get to see why they've been winning so much. And again tomorrow, Max Scherzer will take the hill for Detroit in Cleveland. Maglio is 0 for 3. And he checks a swing. Paulie is out there for another inning of work. He got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the 7th inning after Pineda went the first 6. Let's see if this one is playable. And it is not. Pushed out of the reach of smoke. Taken away by Fan.
Right in your living room.
One ball, one strike. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Ordonez, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Only 4 Detroit hits today. And a 5-run deficit in the 8th. Missed it outside. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Well, the Tigers just aren't able to do anything with Paulie. That's going to give Seattle pitching 12 strikeouts today. Here comes Cabrera. Miguel 0 for 2 with a walk. Ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Ryan has it go under the glove.
It's the second consecutive day we've seen Ryan pretty much do the exact same thing on a backhanded play at shortstop, not get the glove down. Therefore, the ball scoots right underneath.
That's an error. E6 on Brendan Ryan. Keeps the inning going now for Brendan Bosch. Ball 1. Double and a run scored for Bosch, one of the 4 Tigers hits today. Hitting .342 now for the year. We're talking about how he worked with Lloyd before the season started. How much of the mental break of just turning the page on last season and getting into the offseason do you think helped Brendan?
I think it helped him tremendously. He had to get away from it for a while and not to think about it. But the one thing that Brendan should have took out of last year, despite the fact that he did struggle in the second half of the year, he had a pretty good rookie season.
Absolutely.
And I think people tend to forget that. I mean, the first half of the year was so good, but had he scattered that over the whole year, that would have been a very good rookie season.
Or even had you flip-flopped that if he started slowly and then came on at the end, it certainly would have left a better feeling for him. But the numbers overall were good.
Still a long way to go in this year, but by him struggling like he did the second half of the year, his sophomore slump is pretty much over. He's dealt with a lot of adversity already.
Rolled to first base and through into right field.
And he's going foul line to foul line. That's how he's hitting .350. He's just getting good at bats just about every time he steps in that batter's box. Taking more pitches, much more patient.
Yeah, a 2-hit day today for Bosch. That'll bring up Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn a walk. 0 for 2 otherwise. He has scored a run. Ball one. Tigers trying to scratch something together against Paulie. Now the catcher Olivo out to the mound. Tigers have not scored since getting 2 in the second inning. They jumped on top of Pineda with a couple of runs, but not a whole lot since, if anything. By the way, tomorrow our Red Wings playoff coverage continues. Game 1 of their second round series against San Jose. You can see that game immediately here on Fox Sports Detroit at 10 p.m. immediately following the Tigers and the Indians. Meanwhile, Red Wings coverage will also be available over on Fox Sports Detroit Plus starting at 9:30. Red Wings live pregame at that time. So the second round commencing. Two 2-0 on Rayburn. Make it 2-1.
And Paulie's got that sinker that you really can't try to pull. You have to try to the best of your ability to hit that ball the other way. And that's how you have success against a sinker baller. If you try to pull it, you're going to roll over most times as a right-handed batter, and you're going to hit lots of ground balls to third, lots of ground balls to the shortstop.
Three balls and one strike. And the 3-1 rolled foul. Three and two on Ryan Rayburn. Well, the Tigers fans that showed up today, 21,000 strong. Many of them still here. Trying to help Rayburn here get something going with a 3-2 pitch coming. Here it is. Runners go, and it's lined to short and caught by Brendan Ryan. Inning is over. No runs, a hit and error, and 2 men left. To the 9th we go. Pitching change here. Jose Valverde now will get some work.
Well, pitch count management is exactly what Valverde needs to do here in the 9th inning. Throw as few pitches as you possibly can to make sure if you're needed tomorrow, you're still fresh and you can get out there.
Ryan Perry pitching the 8th. Now Valverde here in the 9th. 7-2, Seattle in the lead. And it'll be the top of the order. Ichiro, Figgins, and then Bradley. Ichiro, a couple of hits in this game. He looks at strike one from Valverde. .315 average now for Ichiro. Had a pretty good series, 5 for 14.
April usually is not his best month during the course of the year.
And he slices one on a hop to the shortstop. Santiago, quick release. Ichiro is out of there. It's funny you say that because April is his worst, I guess if you want to use that word, month of any month in his season, typically career-wise, and that's at .295.
Really?
That's just how good this guy is. That's his lowest month. Here's Figgins. 1 for 4 for Figgins, plus an RBI. Strike one on Sean. Make it 0-2. Avila, Kelly, and Rhymes do up when the Tigers come to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. And unless they get something really good going quickly, they are staring at a sweep at the hands of Seattle.
Who would have thunk it?
Not I. And the 0-2. That might get down fair, and it does. So Figgins gets another hit. His second today. Going to bring up Milton Bradley. Bradley fouls it away 0-1. Milton started the big inning in the 8th with a walk, also stole a base. A 3-run inning highlighted by the home run by Luis Rodriguez, which busted open a close game. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bradley. Two and one. Fly ball hit well to left. Rayburn in front of the warning track. 2 gone. Bradley is out of there. That'll bring up Miguel Olivo. 12 more hits today for Seattle. Olivo has 2 of them, a homer and an infield single. And he has scored a couple of runs. into shallow center field and caught on the run by Santiago. Nicely done. No runs to hit, one man left. Tigers coming down their final chance here. Bottom of the ninth on the way. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows. For a free and home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Chilly day here at the ballpark. Fans all bundled up, and a chilly day for the Tigers offensively as well. 7-2. Last call now for Detroit. And as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, Tigers need to get the bats going. They will try and do it against the new pitcher, Jamie Wright.
Well, they saw him yesterday. Wright's having a very good year after basically bouncing around several teams the last several years. Opponent's batting average 194. Still got a pretty good arm. Tall kid, throws downhill, good sinker, good slider.
Alex Avila leads it off in the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Avila, Kelly, and Rhymes. Wright looking for the final 3 outs and a Seattle sweep. Ball 1 to Avila. Alex still responsible for the only Tigers offense today. 2-run double in the second, which gave the Tigers their only lead, 2-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. And then we got Jim Joyce. .303 average now for Avila.
Jim Joyce is going to get a lot of TLC here. You've got a catcher in the batter's box in Avila. Of course, you've got Olivo. He's behind the backstop, and who knows, old Avila might even take a little extra time for Jim Joyce.
He caught that one in the hand. That doesn't feel good when it's 90 degrees out, let alone 52 according to the scoreboard. The 1-1. It'll pop up back a short. Ryan to the grass. Avila retired, 1 gone. Pineda started, went the first 7. Paulie pitching the first 6 rather. Paulie in the 7th and 8th, and now Wright in the 9th. Kelly 0 for 3. Seattle starting pitching came in with a team ERA of 3.89 among the starters, and Pineda didn't do a whole lot to hurt that number today. And he is about to get his 4th victory of the season. The last Seattle rookie starter to win 4 games in a month was Freddie Garcia in 1999. Fouled away.
And based on those numbers that you just brought up regarding their starting pitching, their issues have been offensive. But their offense is perked up here for 3 days.
They'll bring that perked up offense into Boston next, while the Tigers go to Cleveland. 2-2 is a breaking ball outside. 3-2. Pineda with a win today, but also tie Zach Britton of Baltimore for the rookie lead in victories in the American League with 4. Hit to the shortstop on a line right at Ryan. 2 men out. And it's going to be all up to Will Rhymes. Will today's been on base twice, single and a walk. He's also fanned. The 2-0 pitch. 3 balls and no strikes on Rhymes. Trying to keep it going for Jackson. He's on deck. And there is ball 4. So Will is aboard for the 3rd time. Innings still alive. We'll bring up Jackson now. Austin is 0 for 4 today. Rhymes will take second base uncontested. No stolen base there. Strike 1 on Jackson. Oh, 0-2. Seattle 1 strike away. Here's the 0-2. And it just missed. Austin in the series 0 for 12. Had 5 hits in that series against the White Sox. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Ryan over to make the play. Quick throw. He is in time, and Seattle completes the sweep. The Mariners come into town and they take 3 from the Tigers. And Eric Wedge's team suddenly playing a whole lot better. Tigers fall here today. 7-2 our final score. They were out hit 12-5. And we'll take a timeout. Come back with more from Comerica Park. 7-2 your final score.